Well, hello everybody. This is Mary Rambo. I'm the music director and program director for the CollECtive Choir. We are so excited to be here this February. I'm in my parents' great room. As you can see, there's a warm fire. And one thing that you need to know about my dad, he's just a very, he loves to work with his hands, and he's helped so many people with those hands on various projects, myself being one of them. But one of his hobbies has been to begin wood turning, and if you're into wood turning, you know how serious of a business that is. But it's just been wonderful to see all of these different kinds of woods come to life. Why am I talking about wood turning for the CollECtive Choir? Well, it's because my parents have devoted all of the proceeds from the wood turning to go to the CollECtive Choir. And so this is a great independent fundraiser that we'll put to good use as we round into 2021, getting ready for our outdoor season. And we have a concert run coming up in a couple weeks as well, and in March. So I'm gonna just highlight some of these here, and then in a second I'm gonna have my dad talk about some of the pieces that he's been working on in his shop. Well, I'm here with the Mr. Rambo, and we are here in the great room, and we have some different kinds of pieces here that we want to highlight. And so I just thought it'd be great to have my dad talk about some of these together. So here is Mary Rambo.
Well, thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'll start with the wood that we picked up across from you at your neighbor's place, where he had that catalpa tree go down.
That's right.
This has a very interesting grain pattern, and this was one of the bigger pieces that I found. And then there's some smaller ones, but the grain pattern is lovely. This was a little vase that I was able to use from a longer piece, and this is slightly deeper bowl, but also has that beautiful catalpa grain. And this one kind of shines in the way it polished up nicely. Then I have some spalted oak, and this just came out of some firewood pieces that I have.
And that polishes a little nicer.
It polishes pretty nicely, and has very interesting colors. That made it fun to have. Slightly different shape here, but
now for anybody who doesn't know, what makes the spalting?
Well, it's right when the tree starts to decay, and material gets in, bacteria or something, and makes the grain pattern really stand out, because those dark streaks get into the wood. This one is not spalted. This is just an oak bowl, and this is a little oak vase. Then I got into spalted aspen, and it's a very light colored wood, but it has some striking colors in it as a result of the spalting.
Wow.
And it makes it kind of fun to look at. And they're very light, and different size bowls here.
And you put the date and time at the end of each of these. So.
Well, I did. Yeah. This was number 68, for
Number
example.
68.
And I'm just up to 77 projects right now.
77.
This is an interesting wood. This is box elder, and it has those beautiful red streaks in it.
Wowza.
And that makes it kind of an especially pretty wood to work with. Then this is walnut. This came from my son Daniel's neighbor. I had some walnut blocks sitting there, and they were dry enough to start turning, so I got a couple of walnut bowls, but they have kind of a interesting, neat grain pattern as well.
And is that black walnut?
This would be black walnut.
And I understand that's not the best for the soil around the tree, but look at that grain.
Yeah, it's got some kind of striking patterns when you look at it in the bowl. This is just a plain old pine. Got a nice little bullseye on the end, but that's all. Otherwise, it's just a plain pine one.
Good old pine.
Then I get into some cherry, and it's very hard to do cherry because it often splits. This beautiful little vase has such a nice cherry color and pattern on it. A little bowl, and a little bigger bowl, and a special bowl from a cherry burl.
Whoa.
These are striking, and they're wonderful showpieces, kind of it's really a joy to do burls, and you don't find them very frequently. This was a challenge to do. It's buckthorn, which is such an invasive. It's a gorgeous piece, but it's so hard to get done without having it split. And so this one has a crack on the side. It's still striking.
Yeah, and sometimes that character some people might be looking for symbolically, or just look at the rest of that grain and the polish on that. So,
and then the last set here, these again are spalted ash, and that came from the trees that are in the woods by Trinity Lutheran Church, and I just happened to pick up some of the ash that was starting to rot again, and it has some striking color. And this is regular ash that finishes off very nicely. And,
is that typical of hardwoods to finish a little smoother?
I think so. I think they sand out a little bit cleaner. So there again. So that's all I have at this point. I'm working on. In just a short time, I'm having someone work on my lathe because the bearings are starting to go in this old lathe that I've been using, and so I have a couple projects partly done that need to be finished, sanded downstairs, a couple more cherry bowls, and I was working on that just before lunch, and I'll head down and continue to work on the bowl project.
The carpenter himself, and I meet so many people that say, "Oh, I had your dad for this." So you remain Mr. Rambo in this neighborhood, but it's been a blessing to have you in the community. So there you have it, folks. This is a wonderful way to invest in the community, and you also get a nice piece of the land. A lot of this wood is right from this area, and so you can know that, this is going to good use, and even some showpieces that you can have for when we can get back together with our friends. Or at least you can post them on Facebook or anything. This is a free will donation. We appreciate your generosity in this matter, as it really helps. We're taking on some new positions, and we're expanding other positions that are really pushing our mission forward, both online and offline, during the season that people aren't always together. And so we continue. We have a couple singles coming out, and of course there's expenses that go with promoting that and with recording that. And so all of this is helping us continue our engines going. We appreciate you sharing this video and letting people know about how they can invest in the local community. And we, of course, support the arts, but we really want Jesus to be known. And this is a time where it's very important for people to know that there is hope. And so we hope that you continue to be encouraged, and the choir is going to do the same. And we pray God blesses you, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you. Perhaps you're wondering, how can I get a hold of one of these pieces. So I want to let you know that first of all, payment will be processed on our website, and you can do that by sending physical checks to P.O. Box 1942, Eau Claire, Wisconsin 54702. And you can also pay through our PayPal as a one-time donation, or you may want to consider becoming a monthly partner. And you can set up repeating donations through PayPal. That's through our website portal. It's a little $ sign that's in the upper left-hand corner.